Hello, gamblers, and welcome to episode 4 of The Gotta Gamble. We are moving right along, aren't we?
We are.
I am Kenya Fudia, and we have Legally Masa and the Dre Taylor. How you guys doing?
Wonderful.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
I'm a little hungry. Guys, it's a Sunday we're recording, and right now it's a brunch o'clock.
It's absolutely brunch o'clock.
Y'all been talking about this damn, your chicken levels is low.
My chicken levels is getting way too low right now.
And natural chicken. Ain't that artificial chicken? Natural chicken.
Natural chicken, just juicy and
Just calling my name, y'all. But we're here for y'all to give you some more content,
About us.
more information about living in Ghana. And speaking of which, well, we just talked about Death to December. But we are people who, we visited for Death to December, but then we decided to take that gamble and move to Ghana. So now we're going to talk about that transferring from vacation mode, where you just throw money in the air,
making it rain.
to
Buying bottles.
buying tables, all of that, to let me gather myself and start budgeting, because now I actually live here.
Let me respect myself.
Yeah.
First of all, let's start with the basics. Exchange rate. First of all, the day that we're recording this is what? Sunday, Sunday, July the 30th, 2023. By Monday, July the 31st, this information is probably going to be old.
Right.
The way the CD fluctuates, my God, like your head will spin. But as I sit here today, I would say that the exchange rate is what, probably like 11.3
11.2
11.2 Ghana CDs
to $1.
to $1, right? So for me, I can't be doing that math. I can't be stressing myself. So for me, it's like 1 to 10. Okay, so if you have $100, you have 1,000 CDs. If you have $10, you have 100 CDs. That's just the easiest way for me to do it, and then I take off a little bit. So basically, when you get here, you coming to Africa, you coming with a stack, you coming with your 1,000 or 2,000, whatever, just spending money. You're gonna get a stack of money. Right? It might be in a paper bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get a stack of money and really feel like you are balling. And you will be for some things. But we're here to tell you about how in many ways you will not be, and how quickly that money can go when you actually live here.
Spins fast.
It does spin fast.
Reality hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out here acting a fool.
Yeah. Chill out.
Acting a fool. Let me come back. Hey, go to the damn grocery store, get some damn groceries.
Yeah, exactly. We get out of this restaurant and go down to the grocery
Some
store.
of this damn peanut butter and jelly.
First of all, let me tell you what. As a mother, I know about peanut butter prices, okay? I know that you can get the large jar of peanut butter for $5 at the Walmart, okay? That same jar, the downgraded version, not Jiffy level peanut butter, is going to set you back a good $10, $11 here in Ghana. I'm here to tell you that as a mother.
The price of things is different.
Especially if you get it from the States.
Especially the imported American goods.
The Jif,
Frosted
the
Flakes going to set you
Frosted
back.
Flakes.
You go to the South
Fruit
Carolina, you
Loops.
have $15. Frosted Flakes going to set you back $15. We're talking about the $3.99 box. Gonna set you back a solid $15. I got the twin pack because, sometimes I be trying to let my children know that, mommy has a good education. Mommy has a good job. I can afford things. It's not everyday poverty. So I told them to pick what they wanted at the A&C Max Mart. Who told me? They said they wanted a twin box of Frosted Flakes. $26 later. $26 later. I got them what they wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, there's some things that are really, really cheap. Shockingly cheap, even. And then there are other things
That are shockingly expensive.
that are shockingly expensive. Like, dude,
Strawberries, for instance.
strawberries are high here.
Oh, my goodness.
my God. My God.
And because of it, a lot of locals have never had strawberries.
Why would they have strawberries? What would you eat in this $20 fruit for? And they have
Literally
mangoes
like
on
$20 for a
Because
small
I don't think they grow it here. So it's imported
Yeah.
in.
Imported.
It's imported. So if you're looking to start a business, start a strawberry business, growing strawberries.
My
I used
goodness.
to grow strawberries. Yeah.
Everything we do. Jordan did everything.
Everything we do, you'd be like, I used to.
Right. I'm gonna start growing some strawberries in Sierra Leone. I got some land there.
Would you grow here?
Probably, yeah, they should. I don't know why they wouldn't.
Well, then that's-
I used to grow my strawberries in my greenhouse indoors. I grew them in like a gutter. When it was plastic gutter.
Yeah.
They used to hang, we walked in my greenhouse, I had strawberries coming down.
Dre, his beard doesn't just connect, like Tyrone said, from ear to ear. This single guy here, he also has a green thumb. Eh? Green thumb, this one.
Awesome. We're gonna talk about that. Growing strawberries in Sierra Leone.
Yeah, I grew a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of different foods.
Grew a lot of stuff, huh?
Fruits, yeah. My younger days, yeah. You know, I can say now legally, I'm in Ghana now, so it don't matter. Come give me dirty coppers. Yeah, I've dibbled and dabbled, you know what I mean? Grew some
We're gonna
things.
talk about growing all those things.
Yeah.
All those things.
You know, because now that we mention it, hemp have legally passed in Ghana.
Yes.
Get a license, you can grow hemp here in Ghana.
Yeah, for medicinal purposes, not
Yeah,
recreational
so
purposes, but it's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope, and the systems ain't in place to really do it like the United States. There's a lot of stuff you got to work through, you know what I mean? But the opportunity there, you know, to grow it here if that's what you seek to do. You know what I mean? Without those powers to be overseeing every damn thing that you do.
Yeah.
So vacation mode versus real life. I don't know, it's hard for me to answer that because we had always been coming to Africa from the time that we were little. Kay and I lived in Sierra Leone for a couple of years when we were young. Our parents, just like, if you're first gen, you know now, always after that, we'll send you back home. We don't have to, we'll send you back home. We'll send you back home. So we're three of us. One out of three of us was misbehaved, and next thing you know, we went back home for our summer vacation that never ended. We had a one-way ticket. We never knew it. We were just living there, unbeknownst to us. So, like, we had always been very closely connected, like family, closely connected with our roots, with our culture, with, you know, just the living in Africa and African life. So it hasn't been as much as a shock, perhaps, as it would be to.
It's not a shock per se, but there's just adjustments that
I
you will
think
make.
some things about living in Africa would be a
For
shock.
instance, we're talking about Ubers, like, you know, you can get around in Uber. Now, there's the local way of getting around is what we call a trotro here in Ghana. In Sierra Leone, we call it poda poda. So those are they look like vans. They're going around, they pick somebody up every few feet, and they're going on a certain route. So you know, whatever they're yelling out, they're saying Medina, Medina. You get in there, they'll take you. Medina will be the last stop for that. So anywhere that you're going all the way to Medina, you can get on. Now, I was so against chotros, like when I first got here. I have a claustrophobia thing, and they really, really pack those things to capacity sometimes. After a while, though, I was like, okay. When the restaurant was close to us, I spent like 12 CDs going back and forth to the restaurant, sometimes multiple times a day. When if I got in a trotro, it'd be like 2 CDs.
I don't know what you're trying to do.
So I was like, let me get my tail on this trotro. One thing you'll learn about trotros is that the front seat is actually available. So the front seat is normally the people who go up there, like maybe the aunties, maybe a businessman or something. If they'll get in the front seat so they're not in the back with everybody else. So I was like, after I realized that whenever the front seat is available, I'll hop in so I don't have to deal with being like crammed in the back. But you know, these are things you learn after being here for a while.
We can talk about this probably for 3 hours if you wanted to. Traffic in Ghana. King and I started driving here over a year ago. And that's a whole other episode. The reason I'm saying we started driving here, we've been driving for decades in the U.S. But we decided to make up our minds to start driving in Ghana like over a year ago. But, you know, the roads had killed my car. Roads had killed my car that I had transported here. And then I bought another car. The roads came through and they just also finished that one. It's currently disabled in front of my house. And so I said, you know what? Trotro's looking kind of good right now. Because we're not buying car number 3 in less than a year, right? So me, reaching back to my Sierra Leonean roots, and where we were taking Puda is nothing. And me and my kids would just load up in there. But my kids don't know, they don't read the room. The thing about Maya and Amina is they don't read the room. And so they're being loud and boisterous with their American accents in the middle of a cha-cha. It's just so awkward. And then maybe I might have my Louis Vuitton. Maybe it's a Gucci bag. Because I don't care. I don't care. So then with their American accents and me with these designer bags, and we're just getting on churches. We lived our life like that for several months. For several months while you were still proving us like trying to pay for Ubers and Bolts everywhere. And then finally broke down and got another car. But yeah, like it just there are just certain points where you stop thinking of things in terms of dollars. Because you're gonna think in terms of dollars when you first get here. Like, it's just $5, it's just $4, it's just $10. And then there's somewhere you just like
I've been here long enough, like dollars ain't got nothing to do with this. But it's about cities.
We thinking in cities now. Yeah. So there'll be a point where your brain will shift and you'll be like, what do you mean 50 Ghana? 50 cities for this simple thing.
Then also another thing with vacation mode versus I live here mode is somebody might tell you a price and you're on vacation. You're like, I'll do it.
Right.
After you've been here a while, you're gonna be like, hey,
I ain't going for that.
we're not doing this. Nah, I love to tell them, I'm in Ghana with you. I'm here with you. So like, give me the normal price. Just don't hear my accent and think that I'm just here visiting.
The thing is, once you say that, the price will cut like by 50%. It's like,
oh, you live here?
50%.
All of us here in our crowd.
Okay.
It's called the Obrani price. So for foreigners, they call us Obrani. I mean, foreigners, that's the way it goes. Obroni. That's the third episode. Obroni.
So?
But yeah, the Brony prices. Small.
Yeah.
Small. And so you get those prices, and so I had a situation one time. I was leaving Osu. Osu was like the nightlife of Ghana, the entertainment district, and I was going towards the mountain at the bottom of the mountains. I know it usually costs me about 100 CDs to get there, you know what I mean? So I know a cab, if he goes there, he's not gonna get a return trip, so take care of him X, Y, and Z. So he takes me there, and he tells me 300 CDs.
It's a lot.
300 CDs. And I'm like,
Nope.
I'm not giving no 300 CDs.
Nope.
And so I'm like, I'll give you 150, you know what I mean? Take this 150 and go home and get out my face. And so he decided to step out the cab.
Oh.
He steps out the cab, and I'm thinking to myself, this ain't what you want. This ain't what you want right here. I'm thinking to myself, you got two choices. You can take this 150,
Right.
CDs and go about your business, or get this little hook,
Not the level.
get this combo, you know what I mean?
And then
go about your business and don't get no damn money.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
But then that's when you realize that, I'm in Ghana.
Yeah.
Things are not that serious.
It's just not.
If they don't get to that point where it's that serious, you have to remove yourself and like, you know what? I'm here, and they're not about that life here in Ghana.
They're not.
They're not about that life of violence, X, Y, Z. So sometimes you have to dial things back. Because you have to dial back. Because we're so used to,
Turning up.
getting aggressive. This leads to this.
Yeah.
It never leads to that.
Yeah, it doesn't.
In Ghana. It never leads to getting violent or putting your hands on somebody here. You might want to.
Yeah.
You might want to, but you have to be like, you know what? It's 150 CDs. Take the damn $15. Take the damn $15. You know what I mean? And you have to remind yourself. And sometimes it be the principle that get us all
The
worked up.
principality of the matter.
Yeah, it gets us worked up. But it's like, you know what? At the end of the day, it's $15 damn, Dre.
It's true.
$15 damn, Dre. You know what I mean? Go upstairs, you know what I mean? Go upstairs, have a good night, you know what I mean? Let this man be. You know what I mean? Because they will test your damn patience here.
The more confidently that you tell them what you're gonna pay, though, it's like you have to just be like, I'm not paying you that. This is what I'm gonna pay.
I'm just not gonna do it.
The more you sound like you're asking, or they're gonna start playing. I was going to an ECG place. I was waiting for a torture. I was willing to take a torture that night. There was a cab that was sitting there. I never take cabs. But he was literally just sitting there and was like,
You never take cabs because?
well, because
Those situations.
they like to hike the prices up. So he took me on this like 10-minute trip to the place. He tried to charge me like, what do you say, 25 CDs? Something dumb that should have been like 10, 12 CDs. I was like, yeah, I'm not giving you that. I'm not giving you that, and this is what I'm giving you. And then I just got out of the car. You just have to do it like that, and they'll realize, like, okay, well, this isn't really one that's going for.
Yeah, just give it to them and get out.
Just get out. Yeah.
You know, they're gonna track you down.
You gotta just be confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll just get to know the prices. You'll get to know when you're getting got. You'll get to know when you're taking advantage of. There are some things where you'll feel a little bad because you know the value of what it is, and you know that what they're quoting you is too little. Example. I had, look at my wrist, Joe. I had a serious accident in Sierra Leone and broke my wrist, stitched my head, a whole thing. So I had a cast for over 2 months. Now I'm doing traditional herbal medicine. And I don't have the herbs on today because I didn't want to look like that on camera. But in any event, girl comes every single morning to my house. She gets around 6:45. She gives me a traditional massage for like 15, 20 minutes, rubs the herbs on there, wraps it up in ace bandage, and she goes. And I'm getting mobility back. Like I can almost clench a fist, all of that. Like it's working. She has charged me 1,000 Ghana. 1,000 Ghana for a whole month's worth of work. And I'm sitting there doing the back of my head, like, sis, do you know what the exchange rate is right now? Like, 1,000 Ghana for you to take transportation to and from my house every day, 7 days a week.
It's about $90 for the month.
Yeah. Like $90, and you had to take your transportation out of there, and the amount that it took you to buy the herbs, and you bought the ace bandages, and you come, plus like just your labor and your time. So obviously I'm going to have to give her like 100% tip. I'm just going to do that. So there are things that people will do that are just crazy low. Like that's too low. You know what I'm saying? You'd be at my house 6:30 every morning, you know, like for a whole entire month, 7 days a week. But then there are other things that are just, you know, people trying to get over. Don't take offense to it.
Yeah, don't take offense.
Don't take offense to it. No offense, man. People are trying to make it, right? There's a lot of people here with a crazy amount of money. But there are a lot of people here who are really struggling, right? So if they see you coming with this, your accent, you know, they gonna try it. They gonna try it.
They'll try it in the States with a cab driver, try to get over, you know what I mean, driving around the corner 4 times, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they gonna try it. I mean, cab drivers, taxis, that's what they used to. But you'll get it, you know, in other sectors here of business where they hear your accent and they want a little bit more. But then you have instances where you feel you getting over.
Yeah.
And you like, you know what? Like if I go to a restaurant, you know, I know they're not making a lot of money at the restaurant. I'm gladly to support and tip them 100 CDs, just like $10. And look on their face when they get that 100 CDs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you done made their damn day.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how they probably don't even make 100 CDs a damn day
Yeah.
sometimes. You know what I mean? So it's like those little instances where, you know, you have the good, the bad, but it's the reality of living here on a day-to-day basis. You know what I mean? So,
I got some examples. Okay, for the parents here. If you didn't watch the last episode, we all are business people, right? I still have a busier than ever, actually, like law practice in Chicago and in Houston, right? The 4afirm.com or 4A Law Houston. It's neither here nor there. But here in Ghana, Kay and I have a restaurant, Freetown Chop House, and then we have other ventures going on. And so, like, there are times when, like Dre said, like, you want to invest in the community around you. My thing is just, I don't want to get got, right? Like, there are times I'm going to want to invest. Like, I want to do good for you. You don't have to trick me into it. Like, I'm going to give you 100% tip because why are you charging me this? Like, what you've done is worth so much more than this. But then there are other times, like, people are just trying to take advantage. And out of the principality of the matter, now I got to go toe-to-toe with you. I'm pulling my wig off and pulling out my earrings over $5 darn. Now, why we got to do all that? Why don't you just give me the normal African person price, you know? But, like, just when you get here, move around with the Ghanaian. We already talked about relationships in the other episodes. Move around the Ghanaian and presume that if you are negotiating for yourself, or if you have been told a price and it's only you standing there, that it's a lie. that somebody's trying to take advantage of you and they trying it, and that's not the real price. Maybe cut that price by 50%, and that's maybe what the price is. Maybe it might be.
And you can have it yourself if you want to. You don't have to have a Ghanaian.
You don't have to.
just
You just don't, if you don't know what the real price
Yeah.
is, you're not going to know what the bottom what we call last
Last
you don't
lot.
actually know what the real last price is. So you don't know how to negotiate. So yeah, it's just they're just the good outweighs the bad, but definitely be cognizant of the exchange rate and don't think for a second that when you come to Ghana, you about to be out here balling continuously. When you live here, it's different.
You hear about a lot of people who have come to Ghana and ended up going back to wherever they came from, the States, the UK, or whatever, because you can get carried away with the lifestyle. It's like you're here and there's just always something to do. These venues are so nice. You're doing it for the gram. But if you didn't come here with a plan, I guess we haven't even talked about that.
Yeah.
A remote job of some sort, which is what I would highly, highly recommend, and you just came here off of like savings, for instance, that money will run out so quickly. If you didn't come with that and you're not adjusting your lifestyle, so you're not like going down to the market to get local produce for the low, that money's gonna run out really, really quickly, and you'll be on a flight back to DC or wherever you came
To
from.
go drive Uber and start over again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no, truly, like, and that's not even a joke. People do come here.
Yeah, it's very
Your
serious.
savings is only going to go so far. Here's a prime example. Let's just give it dollars and cents. When you come here, you're going to have to, if you rent a place, right? Unless you're doing one of the, let's say $1,000 a month, kind of month-to-month leases, because that's what you would get for month-to-month, and the kind of accommodations you would want to stay in as a diasporan. But for other decent, very nice, lovely accommodations, some of us are paying $250 to $300 a month, right? What does that mean? With my rough math, 2,500 CDs to 3,000 CDs a month. I was paying 2,800 for the last two years. 3-bedroom, 3-bath house on its own individual compound. Self-contained compound is what we call it here. So, $2,500 a month. I'm sorry, 2,500 CDs a month, so $250 a month is what I paid for the last 2 years. But I had to pay 2 years in advance. That requires a money counter at the bank. But I had to go get that rent out, that 2 whole years worth of rent. That actually adds up. That's like $12,000. When you move into a place, it's not like moving into an apartment complex in Houston. You know what I'm saying? It's not like moving into LA where like the appliances are there. I had to buy my own appliances. You might have to buy your own water heater to make sure your water heats up. You're gonna have to buy your own water tank.
When they say it's unfurnished, they mean there's nothing inside.
Nothing.
You have the walls and the roof. And
There's
that's
a
it.
walls in the roof, right? And so
Everything else is
things
on you.
add up. So let's say you have a little $20,000 savings and you feel like you're about to make it do what it do because you heard people are paying $150 a month for rent here. Okay, you can do that. By the time you get done paying your 2 years worth of rent and you get done furnishing the place and you buy a car, then what does that leave you? Where's your brunch money? You know what I'm saying?
What about brunch?
Where your Sky Bar money at? You know, like you heard people over here getting their hair braided for $8. We are. You know what I'm saying? But by the time you get done doing all the other things that you have to do, like, you know, where's your hair braid money at?
Yeah, you got to have some money coming in.
Yeah.
You know, and it's highly suggested to get that dollar, you know, coming in. It's hard because it's different culture, trying to come in and start a business and support a business here. And so it's easier to make that transition when you get in the US dollar with a remote job, whatever you're doing. Steady income to be here as opposed to starting a job here or trying to create a job here and get the cities and having employees. You know what I mean? Because dealing with employees,
It's gonna take
you know, it's going to
a
take some time, some managing because it's different culture.
Yeah.
You're coming in there and so it's things that you're not expecting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so you have to deal with that. You know, I got, you know, people who work on my site and I have to deal with that situation. You know what I mean? And so it's not for the weak. It's not for the weak.
definitely not.
And that's why we call it a Ghana gamble because it's like, it's a gamble. You coming over here gambling on the strength of, you know, moving to Africa and, you know, it's not a utopia. It's not a utopia. You have your good and the bad, but the pros definitely outweigh the bad if you can manage. Come with a plan. What is it, 1 year plan, 3 year plan, 5 year plan? Put some things in place. If you're going to come, have your rent paid for the first 2 years.
Yeah.
That way you can coast.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's your main bill. You can coast. Your living expenses. Have that already paid for the next year or 2 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then you can, figure things out so you ain't trying to, hustle up this money, even though it's going to require you to pay 2 years in advance. Unless you're doing month to month, it's going to be more expensive. If you have to do month to month, it's going to be expensive because the only place you're going to get like that is from off Airbnb.
Yeah.
We'll be paying, $1,000 a month, $800 a month. And in some places, that's not a lot. You're coming from like the coast, DC, New York, California, and then that's doable. You know what I mean? That's not nothing. You know what I mean? But if you come like the Midwest or down south or something, $1,000, and then two, for $1,000, you're gonna be getting the same amenities that you might get used to in the United States.
Exactly.
You're gonna have a generator. If the power go out, you know what I mean? If you work remotely, you have good Wi-Fi. You got multiple Wi-Fi connections in case this goes out. You have another one here.
Yeah.
So those things that you just don't know. And that's why it's good to have Uncle Ghanaian and do some consulting with somebody that's already here to plan on making that move.
Yeah.
Just like we're going to talk about another episode, you bring kids here as a single mother. What does that look like? Mm-hmm. The reality of being here full time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you see things. You had a good time, a damn good time in December.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I partied it up.
Like
I'm
the
gonna
time
move.
of your life.
I'm gonna move here.
Yeah.
I can see myself here. And you get here and life hits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you got to figure shit out. The tour guide is gone.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You look around, you all by yourself.
You by yourself and shit, And so these are the things
Always still trying to figure out stuff you never had to figure out in the U.S.
No.
Figure out the ECG.
Some things that
The power.
you
Electric
never
company
had
in
to
Ghana.
think about.
they ain't gonna send you no mail about your power. You just gonna be in there, watching TV and then your power go off. Like, what the hell? You had to pay your power in advance.
Yeah.
And it wasn't no certain amount you put on. You just put a certain amount on there, and when it ran out, it ran out. You didn't know how to judge your power. It wasn't no notice that, hey, you got 10 CDs left on this power.
Yeah.
Nah, it just goes out.
It's just
We
out.
didn't have our trash picked up for months. We didn't have our trash picked up for months because we didn't know how to go about it. We didn't know who to call.
Nobody was coming to pick your damn trash up.
Yeah, we didn't
It's a private company that comes in, picks up trash. It's not a public situation where the government don't go or a city doesn't come and pick up everybody's trash. You have to have a private contractor come and pick your trash up. And so it's little things.
little stuff.
Where am I going to get? I can't go to Walmart to get everything.
But the trash pickup costs about 80 cents. Trash pickup costs about 80 cents a week. You know what I'm saying? Like the ECG. I don't know about you. Gary's a big baller. He's living out in the mountains. He's building some massive, real estate development out there. But for those of us local people that live in the
Same here.
I would say, yes, if you're going to rent, again, you can get fantastic place, come with $10,000 to $15,000. That'll pay for your first 2 months of rent.
First 2 years.
I'm sorry, my bad. First 2 years of rent. But then after that, honestly, unless you brunching every day or multiple times a week like we do, you know what I'm saying? But no, you ain't, don't be like this. But unless you're doing that, truly, you can live off of, I would hesitate to say that you can live off of like
Comfortable.
$200 a month. I really think you could with your spending. If you're not shopping in the grocery stores, you're going to the market or sending your person to the market. If you don't have a private driver, so take a private driver out of it, take the nanny or whatever out of it. Just like your ECG, your Wi-Fi, your cell phone bill if you have an MTN or a local line. I would think that one person can live off of like $200 to $300 a month. If you wanted to be comfortable, you want to go out to eat. You don't want to be counting your pennies or whatever. You could still live off of $500 a month.
$500 a month easy. Yeah.
And that's you going out on Fridays. Like you having the Wi-Fi, to the max. Your air conditioner is running. Like $500 a month easily.
Because most Ghanaians are living on less than that a month.
Way less. Way less. So Ghana is expensive, but then it's not. Right? So there's something here for everybody. If you are a wealthy person and you feel like, I don't want to if you're watching this, you don't feel like Africa is beneath you. There's something about Africa that intrigues you. But there are many Americans who feel like America is the end all be all, right? Because all the immigrants come there, so obviously what you had at home was so good you wouldn't come here.
But they don't speak about all the people who leaves America.
Man.
And not just us, it's white people who leave America at record numbers too.
Yeah.
They don't talk about the numbers that they leave
I'm telling
compared
you.
to coming in.
There's life outside of America. People are living fantastic qualities of life outside of America. Like, if you are a single parent and you're interested in knowing about how, I just went from being like any other single mom. You're struggling to get to daycare on time. You're struggling because your kids get out of school at 2:45, but you work until 6 p.m. You're struggling because you can't get them to ballet and be at tennis and be at soccer, even if you can afford all those activities, because there's only one you and it's 2-3 kids. Like, coming to Ghana and being able to afford personal staff, household staff, your nanny, your cook, your housekeeper, your driver. That's a life changer. So, yes, is Frosted Flakes going to cost you $15? It absolutely is. You can live without Frosted Flakes, so right?
Or just ship some things
Or
every
ship some
once or
things.
twice a year. Just get you a container, or get you, not a full container.
A barrel. You
Barrel.
said
A barrel
You
that
said
they'll put
barrel.
on the container.
And it probably about $300 to ship
Yeah,
that
I
thing.
have stuff that I shipped over here that I'm literally just now running out of, like household products and stuff
Yeah,
from
so-
2 years ago.
You work around it. You work
Yeah.
around it. It's just there's something here for anybody at any level, no matter how rich you are or no matter how normal middle class you are. There's something here for everybody.
What's been something that's, since you've been here, that's like striking or you couldn't believe since been here, living here?
You go first.
Well, I talked about my cab experience where it's like, if I was gonna throw these hands, you know what I mean?
You was ready.
Make sure, see if I still have them, you know what I mean? Yeah. It was just a test for me, like, go ahead and see if I still got it in the tank, you know what I mean? But, even I've seen, people argue back and forth, but I ain't seen no hands really get thrown.
Yeah.
When you come from the States, you're like, oh, you be earning for that excitement, you know what I mean? Like, you be looking for it, used to it. You know what I mean? It's part of your environment. You know what I mean? But you don't get that here. You got a lot of bark, but no bite, which is a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good
When you see two men who can sit there, argue, conversate, and then you have others that'll get in between it, and everybody can walk away. You know what I mean? Everybody can walk away. At the end of the day, there's no violence, no guns being drawn. It's peaceful.
There are no guns, period, to be drawn. Let's just start there.
There's few, but
It's a few,
but not like the
they
States.
not.
Not like the States. Ain't nobody showcasing them, showing them around, brandishing them.
That just cracked me up thinking about that happening in Ghana. Somebody
Showing a gun? What? First of all, they
You would almost laugh at that situation, like.
Are you stupid? Like, when people don't just have guns here, like handguns, like they're illegal in Sierra Leone. Like it just wouldn't happen unless you were
The most likely ones that happen are like some businessmen or something.
Yeah. But otherwise, people aren't walking around, so you can feel comfortable again, just being you, without feeling like things could go to an unnecessary level. So so Dre was about to throw hands with an Uber driver. My crazy situation was, again, you talk about getting got. It's always money. It's always something to do with
It is.
money.
It
Some
absolutely
commerce
is.
transaction. So King and I have a construction company, brand new, fresh out the press. We built houses in Sierra Leone, and now we've built a house in Ghana. And the house in Ghana is my personal residence. It was supposed to be finished, and it would have been finished 2 weeks ago, except the kitchen guy. Now, mind you, when I say house, I want to be clear, I'm talking about a compound. It has a pool cabana, it has a tennis court, it has the main house, it has 6 bedrooms, 5.5 baths, right?
Ballin'.
And a rooftop. No, I'm just saying, it's a compound. This is
Right,
not-
right.
It's a compound. I put my all into this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put all my little dollars into this, right? A lot of dollars into this. Kitchen guy, I think that he's about to be the weakest link. And culturally speaking, our observation is that Ghanaians don't like to get bad news. They just are conflict avoidance. They don't like to get bad news, and so they'd rather give no news than bad news. Kitchen dude, you know who you are. He was rolling around. Kitchen 1 week overdue. Kitchen 2 weeks overdue. Kitchen 3 weeks overdue at this point, and now it's time for me to move in. Everybody else is done with their job. All the masoners and the carpenters done. Everybody else done except for you. I don't have a kitchen, sir. I can't eat. So we call him and he's not answering the phone. I was like, okay, give me his number. Because maybe it's getting lost in translation. Maybe he thinks that a clown is building this house and he's not taking this seriously. So I call him. I'm going on. I mean, I'll go to Chicago. I'm stuck for like 45, 50 minutes. It wasn't registered. All I was still getting was, oh, madam, sorry. Oh, sorry, madam, please. I'm sorry. Please calm down. Calm down. I'm cussing him and his generations out. And I'm still just getting mad. I'm sorry. Just going right over his head. He's not catching my level of anger. So I said, you know what? I have to change taxes. Jeffrey Manor, Southside Chicago is not registering with him. Let me change taxes. I hang up. I'll call him back. I said, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't want to argue with you. I want to fight. Please just come. If it's more money you need, please just come so we can discuss this situation. Let's just try to figure out the way forward. That's what Oga wanted to hear. Oga Charlie jumped on an Okada and came to my house. Little did he know that after he agreed to come to the house to discuss it face to face, I had already ran myself over to the local police station. I'd given them one small and gratuity, some small gift to make them come to my house when he was there on some cheaters, you know how they jump out the car?
Yeah.
That's what happened. So I had to get him arrested. I had to get him arrested, and the massive amount of money that it was, because he just hadn't done the kitchen, right? But we had paid him 70% of this big kitchen project, like, was apparently like a felony. It was an arrestable offense, and he could have spent up to 5 years in jail. And they were going to really make that happen. But then he spent the weekend in jail, because I paid him to make sure he doesn't get released. Like, no matter who comes here, like, this, y'all, do whatever it has to do. Like, he can't, I don't care what his mother comes here and does. I don't care what uncle, what big man comes and begs on his behalf. Like, he has to stay there. I want some answers. So he stayed there over the weekend. They released him. And then, you know, they had already gone. This is Ghana. They had already gone to go find his neighborhood, check with his neighbors, confirm that this is the area that he's from. This is actually his house. This is actually where his mother also lives. And so they released him on his own recognizance, right, after verifying his address. And they were like, you have until such and such date to come back. They gave him 7 days. He came with 1/3 of it. They gave him another 7 days. He came with the other 1/3 of it. Don't you know, it's gone from some massive amount down to my last 1,000 CDs. Remind me to call and the police officer goes, where's my 1,000 CDs? No, I want my $80 sometime. Yeah, I want my $80. So, but that was the craziest thing that happened to me, was seeing this man. When I say they sent the biggest police officer, he gripped him by the back of his neck. He had him in a chokehold, but it happened so smooth, in a very Ghanaian way. He was like,
It was actually almost kind of friendly. It was like jolly.
yeah, he was like, the police officer, we're in the room, right? He has no idea that we have shut the door because we know police are going to be entering at any time. So we're in the room, he's telling his sob story, all lies. We're sitting there like we're believing it, waiting, just biding time for the police officer to come. We hear a on the bedroom door. Here comes police officer. He said, yes, madam, regarding the thing that you had just come and reported at the police station, which one of these people is the one that I'm here to arrest? I said, it's that one right there. It's that one right there, officer. He said, you, come with me on your arrest. And like read him his rights, whatever the Miranda is, and put him in a gentle chokehold and chokehold him all the way to Ghana. And that was that.
Yeah, it wasn't no handcuffs.
It wasn't handcuffs. It was just a soft.
You ain't carry handcuffs?
I don't think
I'm not certain.
They
I'm
do
not
have
quite
AK-47s.
They got
Some of them.
They do have guns, but I'm not sure about the handcuffs.
I've never seen him. I certainly never seen him.
Because they literally like police. Nobody's really like resisting the police. Like if police are like, "Come, you're coming with me. You're just coming." It's like a cultural thing.
They might be like, drive with me to the police station.
They'll get in your car. They'll get in your car.
Yeah.
Most of them don't have cars, so they're like, get to the back. I'm coming in. You're taking me to the police station.
Yeah. It's just a different place. But yeah, that was the craziest thing that happened. Again, dude tried it. I don't know what his plan was. Like, I don't know who he thought he was dealing with. I don't know what he heard or what he thought this was, but it wasn't that. So yeah, I got my money back. Minus my 1,000 CDs. And if you really think, if you don't fire you, that I'm gonna let you keep that 1,000 CDs, you're confused. You're very confused.
I think just living here, if you're really gonna move here and you get past vacation mode, you have to have some like grit about you. You have to have a little gangster about you. Otherwise, you will get taken advantage of. You'll get taken advantage of. You'll get cheated. You could get robbed. Maybe not like at gunpoint or something like that, but they'll take your money in some way, shape, or form. So yeah,
Little hustle.
You can't be too passive. Yeah.
You gotta bring that little hustle inside that you had in the States and be able to, bring it over here to street smarts.
Exactly.
You have the
to
street
have
smarts. You come over here and you can adapt well. You know what I mean?
If you're too passive, you're just gonna keep getting got over and over and over again, and that adds up. So,
And the crazy part about this is a bad day in Ghana beats a bad day in the U.S. any damn day.
Any day.
These are bad days.
Yeah.
You know, this is a bad day, or bad moments. Not a bad day. You know, a bad day is your time was wasted. Somebody try to get
Honestly, the
over
majority
it.
of my bad days is somebody that's just really wasted my time.
Wasting your time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And somebody try to get over it. But for the most part of it, that's it.
It's peaceful.
It's peaceful.
Very peaceful existence.
That's it.
So yeah, it's just a much more peaceful, calm place to be.
Yeah, because we're Sierra Leonean American. I don't know if everybody knows that. Like, we're 100% Mende. Proud Mende warriors. That's who we are. Like, you know, we were born in the U.S., got sent back home for a couple of years, but the majority of our life was in the Midwest. We're all Midwesterners, right? So the heartland of America. But, so like, we know how to take it up a notch, but when you come here, you just, it naturally calms you. It's like, I'm not trying to be philosophical,
Stress
but something
relief.
about your, like, it's like it quiets your soul. It calms you down. All the microaggressions just go. Like, you leave them at the airport, leave them at JFK before you get here. Like, all the stress just goes. There are different kinds of stressors here. Not to say that there won't be, but as long as you're somebody who just enjoys peace, right? Like, it's the best. Like, if somebody had to give me the number one word to describe Ghana, it's peace. And that's why we're not in Sierra Leone, right? Like, Sierra Leone is just 2 hours and 10-minute flight away from Ghana. Like, it's all the west coast of Africa. Ghana is just peaceful. That's why you'll find people here from all over the world, including other countries in West Africa, just living peaceful and slightly lit lives here. It's because the country lends itself to just calm and relaxation. So for me, it's also difficult for me to answer the question like Dirty December versus living here in reality, because I swear I feel like our life is a reality show. Like, every day, like, I feel like everyday life is sort of like a vacation that just won't stop. And I want that for my people. I want that for everybody in the hood.
Yeah, if you thinking about it, visit. What's the worst can happen?
Right.
What's the worst can happen? Hey, I went there, things didn't work out. You get back on that, you know, that what's that thing that
Her hamster wheel.
hamster wheel
Yeah.
that you can be on for 20, 30 years doing
Right.
the same thing.
Right.
There's that famous saying, there's always a job at the post office.
Right. Post office
You always hire. You always go back to the post office, get a job, you know what I mean? And so it's like, it's the gamble, but if you're looking for peace, serenity, those type of, you know, environments where stress is killing us, you know, back states, back home, high blood pressure, all those different things. Come here, you don't have those same stressors that you have in the States. And, you know, that's why we're here. That's why it's called the Ghana Gamble. We done made it y'all been over 2 years now.
Yeah, over
I've
2
been
years.
a year full time, but coming back 4.5 years. So, you know, I don't see myself leaving, going back,
Yeah.
no time. Never.
Never.
If it wasn't for family, I would never come back
We're
to
a
the
step
States.
toe in the U.S. There's so many
Never.
places I'd rather visit.
Yeah.
There's nothing there except for family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you got
that's
54 countries here in Africa. You know what I mean? You can fly, you go to Lagos for 2 hours away. You can drive to Togo a couple hours. You can go to Cote d'Ivoire a couple hours. You know, you can fly to South Africa. You can go to Kenya, Tanzania. You know, that's a lot
London
of
is 7
places.
hours away.
Morocco,
Paris,
Egypt.
London.
You know, if you want to go to do the Europe thing, it's 4 hour flight. You know what I
Dubai
mean?
is right there. So, you know, I would never go back to the U.S. to live. I can't, you know, I guess never say never. America, I still want my passport. This is my passport.
Yeah.
My passport, my
American
email on
citizen
it.
for life.
I'm an American citizen for life. I'm never revoking that. Let me be very clear, right? But to live and to have to live with all the racism and the microaggressions, to have to raise my children in a country where I constantly have to see other people's children shot on TV. I'm not even going to talk about the risk and the fear that I have for my own children, but I have to constantly see other people's children shot or beat or stepped to death on national television. I'm never choosing that. I will never choose that. Not in this lifetime and not in the next one. Ghana will dig. We're here. We'll die here.
Yeah, there's a small
Yeah.
adjustment, but like you said, it still feels just like a good long vacation.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel like I need a vacation from my vacation life, though. I've been in Ghana straight for, when was the last time I left?
November.
Yeah, since November, yeah. I need to get away. I love y'all, but
Do a girl and bye.
the Caribbean is actually calling me.
That's basically to get to the point is that you want to go on this Jamaica. He have been talking about this Jamaica vacation for that's
And it's happening. So anyway, that was episode 4 of the Ghana
We in
Pimple.
this thing. We official podcast.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Come on.